do you feel when you see this guy swing by? Or this imposing silhouette? Or this flash of comic book pages? Great design can evoke a strong emotional reaction. A glimpse of a true icon conjures up memories, imagery, even feelings. Even in black and white, the merc with the mouth is instantly iconic. Wade Wilson speaks with a beautiful, sardonic wit that somehow endears you to him while pushing you away. And love him or hate him, you certainly feel something. This is why Deadpool is iconic. Deadpool was invented by Rob Liefeld, a comic writer and artist who was and is a die-hard comic book fan. A beautiful amalgamation from his mind of Marvel's Wolverine and Marvel's Spider-Man, and he owns it, in his own words. Let me tell you guys how it went. Hey guys, Todd McFarlane, he's kind of blowing up on Spider-Man. I need a Spider-Man in my book. Oh wow, so I also like Wolverine. He's my favorite character, black and red. Can I tie him into Wolverine's origin? Okay, I can. So I'm gonna do Spider-Man with guns and knives. So back in 1991, in New Mutants 98, an at the time secondary C-list villain who combined Marvel's two biggest characters was born, one that would change comics and pop culture forever. Rob Liefeld's trademark art style had an enormous impact on all of comic books in the 90s. But what made the regenerating degenerate different than any other 90s bad guy turned quote-unquote anti-hero? His heart, his pain, his willingness to own being a bad person and soldiering on. Because while being the worst of us, Deadpool is also the best of us. He is the only hero that wears a mask not to protect his identity, or his family, or his own safety. No, he wears a mask to protect you from seeing that blistering, cancer-consuming, mauled Shar-Pei of a face. Deadpool wears a mask not to keep others out, but to keep himself in. Recently, Deadpool found out he was a father, back in Deadpool Volume 3, number 19, and slowly, but surely, took himself out of his daughter Eleanor's life, even at the cost of his own happiness. Once he realized how detrimental he was to her in every way, he destroyed his own mind completely in Deadpool number 300, so he'd have no way of reaching out to her if his willpower failed. Most heroes protect their loved ones by keeping a secret identity. Wade completely erased his to protect those that he loves. Deadpool, come for the dick jokes, stay for the constant self-sacrifice. And what's a video about Deadpool without mentioning the fourth wall? The evolution of this important Deadpool trait is years and many creators in the making. Know that story-wise, it's actually a combination of hallucinations and then meeting and having to leave behind his true love, Death, that led Deadpool down the path to realizing he was in fact a comic book character. How many other characters are there in all of fiction that might just acknowledge a thought you had directly to you as you're having it? There's actually a moment when writer Christopher Priest was new to the book and he didn't feel comfortable with the way it was going. He then wrote on a bag addressed to us, the reader, quote, every good idea Kelly ever had and everything that made this book work, and then literally tossed it out. That fourth wall never fully recovered, and the rest is comic book legend. Naturally, in dealing with a character who's aware he's in a comic, you get a world of in-universe and pop culture references. Yep, that's right. Deadpool was one of the first mainstream memes. Obviously, as his popularity increased and memes became more widespread, Deadpool's memes evolved. But from the beginning, whether it's wielding Thor's hammer, his obsession with the Golden Girls, especially that foxy Bea Arthur, or more recently spoiling Game of Thrones for Black Panther, he is a living, breathing, in-comic meme. What truly makes an icon is ease of brand recognition. Take Coca-Cola, Stan Lee, or the Nickelodeon logo. All of those instantly conjure up a feeling and imagery. All you have to do is add pool to something awesome, and you can Deadpoolize it. Seriously, in canon, there's already Deadpool Dinosaur, Dreadpool, Dogpool, Ronin Pool, Wolverine Pool, Groot Pool, Deadpool the Duck, Venom Pool, Lady Deadpool, Kid Pool, Head Pool, and most notably Gwen Pool. Deadpool has more flavors than Coke Zero, all unique, but instantly recognizable. Just like any other solid brand and the character himself, the Deadpool brand can't seem to die. For years, Deadpool's ongoing titles were always on the verge of cancellation. It became a running joke in the industry. But somehow, at the last moment, the internet would catch him, or if the character would be so requested, a new title would spring up. When all hope finally seemed lost after a long-running solo title fittingly ended with issue 69, 4chan was founded and the character once again found a new surge of popularity. The Ouroboros of Deadpool and internet culture thrives to this day. The movie only exists because test footage from it was leaked onto YouTube and there was a thundering outcry for more. It then went on to have the highest R-rated opening weekend of all time, eventually landing at the number 2 highest R-rated grossing film in the US ever as of May 2019. Now what is the number 1 spot, you ask? Passion of the Christ. That's right, Wade Wilson is so iconic, he is second only to Jesus. Deadpool was saved by the internet because he is the mainstream internet, a barrage of information and entertainment beamed at you through the lens of self-referential pop culture. His brain is effectively Twitter. Finally, Deadpool is iconic because he represents the modern thinker. He is the first meta-modernist icon in the comic book space. Luke Turner breaks down some of this philosophical movement in the Meta-modernist manifesto. He defines meta-modernism as the mercurial condition between and beyond irony and sincerity, naivete and knowingness, relativism and truth, optimism and doubt, in pursuit of a plurality of disparate and elusive horizons. The meta-modern generation understands that we can be both ironic and sincere in the exact same moment, that one does not necessarily diminish the other. So many ideals and much of the humor that lands in today's society has meta-modern sensibility. Deadpool isn't trying to trick us. He isn't trying to be anything he's not. He leans into the Mountain Dew Code Red UFC fan Fight Club obsessed Hot Topic shopper of it all. Instead of the red and black spandex wearing wisecracking acrobatic character with big wide eyes shying away from his similarities to Spider-Man, they have him obsessed with Spider-Man, even sexually, and he never shies from his affections. Deadpool is a fully open pansexual, which is another trait that fits true to every facet of his character that also makes him unique in the mainstream comic book space, and makes him an important icon to today's culture. Deadpool is iconic because he's the best possible representation of the world today. What could possibly be more of an icon of the times than a self-aware, self-conscious, self-perpetuating meme of a comic book character? Do you think the Merc with the Mouth is iconic because he's beyond irony? Or because he appeals to both the highest or lowest denominator of society? Give us your thoughts, we want to hear it, and don't forget to hunt down Gamma Ray across the web.